All right. Thank you for tuning into the stream today. We are building a new PC because I'm fresh out. I don't even know how many PCs over the past month, probably like 7 computers. And well, demand picked up over the Christmas season, like straight up sold through all the computers. I just got home from a family vacation last night and sold my last one, that 12900KF we built last time. So now it's time to jump right into it. And we are going to be building with these components here. So take a look. I did put a little bit like, what would you call it? Like a pink light on it. It looks kind of strange, actually. I should dial that back a little bit. The intensity of that. I don't know if I know how to do that from here. I just changed the color a little bit. But yeah, so we're building with a 2070 Super. As you can see, very glorious. Got this bad boy for actually $100 used. Founders Edition. 100 freaking dollars. You cannot beat that. This card is starting to show its age a little bit, but for $100, I mean, that is just absolutely fantastic for that price. We're also building with a 12700KF that I got off of Amazon during Prime Day. You know, this has 8 performance cores, 4 efficiency cores, and this thing I got for $148. It's going for more now. You got to pick things up when they're on sale. But I've just been holding on to this. And then this motherboard is a B760 that I actually got off of a business. And it's the same person I got that 12900K off of. And I basically got this for free. I paid $80 for 2 of these boards, a stick of, or 2 sticks of DDR4 8 gig, so a 16 gig kit. See, I'm going to take that off. And then also a 12900K up. So basically free for that. I don't see anyone in the chat yet. Wait, I see we have 2 people watching. Nice. But yeah, so that's basically the build today. I actually do have a new case for you guys too, so it's going to be a bit of a surprise on that front. I know really you can't build an affordable PC build anymore. I was looking at prices for things like this RAM that I got here. This is not even in stock anymore. This was some King Spec RAM that I picked up off Newegg, and it's a 16 gigabyte kit, and it's like DDR4. No, it's a 32 gig kit, 16 gig sticks. And I got 2 sticks and it was $70. And I thought that was overpaying back then, but I knew RAM was going up. So I bought 2 kits of this. And yeah, now these are non-existent. And the cheapest I could find a 32 gig kit for was $200. So I put that in the description. You know, as always, guys, all of this stuff is in the link in the description below. Amazon affiliate links. Go ahead and buy them there. It really helps out the channel. Well, hello, Reluctant Hero. I'm glad you can make it. So we're going to start off with this 12700K, going right into it here. It's not working. I clicked off it. Oh, there we go. Yeah. We're going to start with this 12700K. Jump right into it. This is a completely new CPU from Amazon. Well, from Intel to Amazon to me. And it is glorious. Gotta make sure I get it in the shot here. Absolutely glorious. How does the mic level sound, Reluctant Hero? I tried to up the gain today. I know last live stream we didn't have enough volume. There we go. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put this bad boy in. Zoom out a little bit. Now, this person did get thermal paste like all over the socket. That's actually non-issue, like it's not a big deal. You can put thermal paste all in this socket and then just put the CPU right on top of it and it works perfectly fine. Just like that. Let me double check. Yeah, it's good. And there we go. 12700KF. There's a 5-second delay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's an issue when I'm using this DJI cam. Oh yeah, it's just frozen. I think it's because it's overheated. That was a weird picture, but I'll try to stay on this camera. When I plug the DJI in through USB, it like overheats in here. It's actually kind of warm in Texas right now. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is the NVMe, and these things are also like increasing crazily in price. Uh, this is a 1 TB. It says it's designed for the PS5 Pro. Let me see if you can zoom in there. But honestly, this thing's gonna be great for a computer as well. It maxes out Gen 4 and reads and writes. It's a bit slower. That's probably just because it, doesn't have a DRAM cache. And their caching system with their TLC might not be good on this drive. I don't know. But for our purposes here, it's going to be fine. This one also comes with a heatsink. That's why I opted to use this one with this board, because the heatsink was not on this board. And I must say, this thing with the heatsinks is a bit chunkster. Look at that. That's very satisfying, seeing like an NVMe with a big chunky heatsink. All right, so luckily on this Gigabyte board, it has like a little plastic pinout where you just pull it like that. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a toolless design, basically. So I don't have to actually fiddle with screws for this NVMe. I'm just gonna go ahead and set it in its place there and punch in this plastic hole, and bada bing, bada boom. Our NVMe is in the socket. This light's starting to distract me a little bit. I'm gonna turn it off. I'll turn it back on if you guys think it's cool. Whoa. All right, so that is the NVMe and CPU installed. Now's the time for the RAM. Okay, this RAM, like I said before, I got it for $70, the whole kit. These kits go minimum for $200 now. Sadly, it's just ugly. This is an ugly kit. It looks like something from 2005 with the way it's designed. But, it's a red stick of DDR4. What you gonna do? Hard times. Got to use what we have. And key mistake. Did I not line this up? It does not line up. The sticker actually faces the user, which is very strange, but that's how they decided to do it. Or is it? No, I was right the first time. I was right. There we go. Okay. Oh, this computer will get 300 FPS in Roblox. I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Roblox is not hard to run, right? I haven't checked. In the description for all the computers I build, I put it will get like 100 or hundreds of FPS in Roblox. I haven't really tested it, but I just assume it will. Because I thought Roblox is pretty easy. All right, there we go. Is my center camera fixed? No. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and unplug it, replug it back in. I don't know if it overheated. It doesn't feel hot actually. So I don't think it overheated. I think handshake issue with USB probably. See, that's why I need another mirrorless. 100%, I need another mirrorless camera. And okay, we're gonna deactivate it. There we go. Let me know, is it still 5 seconds off from when I speak? If so, we're just gonna stick to the overhead cam. But it is nice for you guys to see my face and all that, obviously. All right, next we're gonna actually bring out the case and we're gonna put this motherboard in there. Thank God that we actually have an IO shield, built-in IO shield on this motherboard. That is an absolute godsend. I freaking hate putting on the IO shield, as you guys know. Let's see. Okay, we got 12 viewers. I thought we'd have more comments. You guys got to start asking me some questions. Let's see. I'll change it over to this cam so y'all can see me. And we're building in this little case today. Link in the description. This is a DIY PC case. That's the name of the company. It is fish tank style. I think I got it for like $45 or $50 off Newegg. Hey, can't beat it for that price, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, you gotta unscrew these on the front. And man, I need a screwdriver to get those. Random question, what do you think of the HyperX Cloud 3? I'm assuming that is a headset of some sort, because I've heard of HyperX before, but I don't actually know anything about it. So I don't have any opinion about it. That brand, you know, it's more of like a gamery brand. I wouldn't say they have like the very highest quality, but I wouldn't say they're the lowest either. You're going to want to look for like headsets for things like Sennheiser, HiFiMan. What else would there be? If you're doing IEMs, you could get, what's the brand that I have? I don't know for IEMs, but you might want to go with those if you don't like a dent in the middle of your forehead or in the middle of your head when you're gaming. I prefer big headphones when I'm at my desktop, though. Yeah, so you got Roblox to run with 2 cores. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry guys, I should have told you to buy more stuff sooner, because this whole shortage thing, you know, I'm not really making a dedicated video on it because I think everyone and their mother has, but it's crazy. And I just dropped that somewhere. It is very crazy because like even Nvidia is like, we're cutting supply next year. It's looking like we won't have DRAM or SSD supply until 2028 at like the soonest, like for consumers, and it's just not looking good, boys. Meanwhile, like I just like stockpiled components and stuff, and like I still have 2 more builds after this. I have another kit of 32 gigabytes of DDR4, another kit of 16 gigabytes of DDR4, and then a 32 gigabyte kit of DDR5 6000 that I have just waiting to be utilized. So like I'm good. Now SSD prices are kind of crazy. Like I saw an SSD for like $2,000 today on Reddit. It wasn't an 8 terabyte SSD, but still, that should not cost that much. I'm gonna need my wire cutters for this. Trying to get all these cords out. All right. Should be able to lay this thing flat and get the motherboard in now. Our motherboard's barely gonna fit in this case. What are my 4 favorite games? Let me switch over here. Wow, we barely have enough room on this camera setup. I probably need to raise this up, but it's fine. We're gonna put this bad boy in here. Don't even have to worry about the IO shield today. Oh, I forgot to put on the back plate for the CPU cooler. I might do that. I forgot that last time. Okay, my 4 favorite games. Let me think here. What would those be? I think Minecraft is one of my top games ever, for sure. And then what else would it be? Expedition 33 may make one of those top 4. because I really that was just amazing. But like replayability for me, you know, I don't see myself going back to play that like year after year. I'd say like just the Halo trilogy and like Halo multiplayer because I like really like arena shooters. So Minecraft, Halo, uh, maybe Resident Evil 2. That would be in the top 4. All right, Reluctant Hero. See you later, man. Have a good one. We have Halo, Minecraft, Resident Evil 2. And I guess I'd have to put Destiny 2 in its peak at the top of that. Uh, just because like I grinded that game like crazy. Now it would be nowhere close to my top 4. But just like if we're looking retrospective, you know, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, like I grinded. You know, like all the exotics. Went flawless in Trials of Osiris. We pay 4x for GPUs, so what? Some inflated RAM on top of it. Well, dude, it just feels bad paying for something that you know doesn't cost that much. You know, like that's really all it is. Okay, so let's see if I can put this back plate on here. Like if you know a RAM kit, a DDR4 RAM kit costs $40 because you literally bought it for $40 before, 32 gig kit, then why would you pay $200 for it? Oh, this has stickers on the back. That would be very nice if I can put that on. You know, like that Silicon Power DDR4 kit I linked in the description. I bought that for $40 before. It is now over $200. That's why. That feels annoying, bro. Like, what if you're used to getting Big Macs for like $5 and they go to $30? You probably won't want to buy a Big Mac anymore. Okay. Come on now. Why isn't this fitting? There we go. I'm just gonna, oh, yeah, don't do that. Don't do what I did right there. I'm gonna put this bracket on it right quick. I'm so happy I bought hardware when I did. I got a kit of 9,000 QDIMMs, A-die. I didn't even know they made QDIMMs in A-die. I only saw them in M-die for some reason. I got so I have a, is this still working right? I think it's a little bit delayed. Sorry about that. I had a QDIMM kit, M-die, 24 gigabytes, DDR5. I got it for like 280. It runs stock at 8,400 megatransfers a second. I got that bad boy up to 8,600 on my 265K. Yeah, and I thought, dude, man, I'm overpaying for this thing. Like this kind of sucks, but I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I want to test, Arrow Lake with QDIMMs to see is it really worth it because there's not a lot of testing out there on it, especially with like a 5090, which I didn't know I was gonna get a 5090 at the time, but it's whatever. Turns out now that would be an amazing deal. Like just bottom bin DDR5 goes for that price. So yeah, I mean, sometimes if you want something, just get it. Oops. Oh, that's annoying. It's really annoying. Might have to take this motherboard out. So, how was your Christmas, guys? What'd y'all get? Y'all get a new GPU, new RAM? I didn't get anything PC related for Christmas because I had already bought everything I needed. So, I'm looking for all the screws I need. Oh, here they are. Hopefully they gave me standoffs in this case. One QDIM and another 8i. Oh, okay. Yeah, so friend of the channel, JD Tech Mods, actually sent me some 8i, a kit of 8i. I had tested it on the channel, but I really appreciate that because now that kit's we're going for like $400 or $500. When he sent it to me, it was only worth like $140, if that, maybe like 120. But like, yeah. Now I just run 80 gigabytes of RAM in my setup. And it really annoys me how all these standoffs aren't just pre-installed off the get-go. Let's see here. I actually installed the standoff in the wrong spot here. Hope that'll be okay. Yeah, no, actually I had a Be Quiet cooler and I thought about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use that in the 12700K, but then I didn't because honestly, people aren't gonna pay more for it. They won't. I'm just gonna throw an underbolt on this thing and it's gonna be fine. Now, let me show you this, boys. Let me show you this. So this is what I'm dealing with right now. Oh, come on, get out of there. They pre-installed this. They pre-installed this one right here. Or no, this one. Standoff. But this motherboard, it doesn't line up. Like that standoff hits like right there on it. Like the hole's right here, right? This one's the one I need. Or this one's the one I need. This is the one they installed. I have to take this out, but like I can't. And they didn't leave me one of those screws that help you undo standoffs. So I tried to use my wire cutters. I might have to go to my garage and get one of those out right quick. I think I'm gonna go do that so I can take this out because it could short out the board. Yeah, thanks for jumping in with the stream, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to my garage and grab this right quick. Let me get that out and I'll be right back. All right, here we are. We're back. And I got two of them. Hopefully either one of these will work. Let's go ahead and try this. I've actually been using pretty weak GPUs in a lot of my builds because It's just what I've been finding for really good deals in the market. Like a 12700K can do a lot better than a 2070 Super, guys. There we go. I took it out. See, I didn't want to have that touching the motherboard. That would have not been good. You know, a 12700K can do a lot better than a 2070 Super, but I got that 2070 Super for $100, so my goal is margin. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to build them great computers that are appropriately, for the most part, spec'd, but if you give me a $100 2070 Super, I'm going to use it, and if all I have on hand is a 12700KF, yeah, that's what it's going with. And, you know, after I finish these last few builds with the RAM I have, I don't think I'm going to try to do more builds with this high inflated RAM. Like, it's just, I'm waiting it out until prices get better, guys. And that might be a year or so until I start doing builds again. And, you know, that is what it is. I don't like that by any means, but it's just how it's going to have to work. Yeah, I should get an iFixit kit for as much as I mess with this stuff. I mean, I have everything I need. It's just scattered in and out all around. Here, let me get a light up in here. It'll be colorful. Yeah. That actually looks weird on camera, but I'm gonna leave it for now. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I lost a screw. I have to find that somewhere. I lost one of these. Oh, how does this go on? For LGA. Okay, it goes on the inside. See, this is why I usually do this before I put it in the case. The case just gets in the way. Sometimes it's better to mix it up, though. You overclocked your 14600K to 5.8 gigahertz and 4.4 on the E-cores. So for my testing, the 14600K is actually faster in multi-core, surprisingly, in some workloads. And in gaming, it's faster. But when it comes to, I don't know, like if you just only P-core workloads, like say your workload uses like a lot of very fast threads. It doesn't need a lot of threads, but just needs, you know, I guess 16 fast ones, then the 12900K would win. But for the most part, I'd choose a 14600K over even a 12900K. I think it's a better part. Raptor Lake has better architecture. I do have an AMD CPU lying around. I'm just waiting to use it. Because it's coming, it has that DDR5. Yeah, I'll start mounting the motherboard too. Camera angle is amazing here. I honestly agree. The spending like 15, because it would cost $15 more for a bigger cooler, would be worth it. Oh, I just realized I mounted that on the wrong side on the right side there. It's 100% worth it. Like if I'm doing my own build, I'm doing that every day. But for people and for making money, like they like the flashing lights and like this with the white build with like this white fan, they'll pay more money or the same amount of money for this cooler opposed to a cooler that performs better but just doesn't look as good or looks the same. I don't know. If I use the AIO, then yes, they would pay more. You're right. People do pay more for AIOs, but cheapest AIOs I can find are about $50. I got this air cooler for $15. And I'll throw a little undervolt on this 12700K and it's going to be totally fine in gaming. Totally fine. If you're running Cinebench 24/7, sure. Yeah, you're going to need a little bit more. Okay. I lost a screw somewhere and I need it. Where the heck are you? There it is. The jank is just part of the live streams at this point. Yeah, I forgot to respond to that one comment with the 14600K, but that is a really good overclock. I'd just be careful what monitoring your voltages and all that, you know? You know what I mean, broski? Don't let it go hog wild there. But I took my mini PC with me on vacation this Christmas, and I have mine clocked to like 5.3 on the P cores. It's a 13600K. And I want to say 4.3 on the E cores. And it rips and tears. I tune it for efficiency. Like it uses like 70 watts when under like gaming. And it's just really good because in that mini little chassis, I don't want it consuming a ton of power. And I actually set it up to run on a portable battery in the car while my parents drove. We drove like somewhere like 8 hours away, or like 7 hours away, and it was still in Texas. That's how big Texas is. You could drive for 7-8 hours and you're still in the state. And I gamed in the back seat with full fidelity with an RTX 5070 setup. It was just on battery, and it lasted for that entire trip on the way down, and on the way back, I ran out of battery. I got to like 10% battery, I would say like an hour and a half before we got home. This took way too long to mount here. Way too long. It is what it is. Did I already? Oh, there's one more screw I need. No, I need two more. This one and the one over there in the middle. But yeah, boys, you hear it all over the internet, and I don't want to just repeat bad news, but like we are kind of cooked in the future just because of DRAM and you know, NAND flash and all that. It's just going to be way too expensive. So, oh, okay, the camera froze again, or did it? Okay, no. Yes. It is definitely behind. Let me go unplug it and replug it back in. Seems to help it. Definitely need to get a second mirrorless for this thing. Unfrozen, deactivate, activate. All right. So now that we have the CPU mounted, the RAM installed, the NVMe installed, we're going to plug in our front connectors, you know, power, front USB, front audio. After that, I think it's power supply time. You got the V-Core about 1.3. Spikes up to 1.35. Well, that should be good. Yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't let it go above 1.35 if you want to use that thing for like 10 years. You want to use it for like 4 years, you can let it go to 1.4. And then, yeah, you ought to be good. My 265K, it doesn't even go above like 1.28. I don't think it. Airlake does not use a lot of voltage. All right. Here we go. We'll do our front connectors. Everything in this case is very tight. Oh, that was the graphics card. Let's see. I'll bring this camera closer, aim it down a little bit. There we go. What else do I need? Front USB-C right here. Y'all can see a ding-dong thing, maybe. Maybe I should go on the other side. I've done how many of these streams now, and I still try to figure it out. What else should I get? Front power switch. Man, these connectors on here are way too close together. I'm gonna have to chop this. Now we have front audio. No, this is USB. Maybe this is audio. Can't see anything. Yeah, it's right here. There we go. You got the 5070 Ti. Yeah, 5070 Ti is a great card. For those the few lucky people that picked that thing up below MSRP, they did really good. That ought to be enough for the next like 7 years. After that, you're gonna need to get whatever the new thing is. Probably gonna be a Gentic AI, I think. And that camera totally pooped the bed. A lot of these pins are bent. So I'm having to bend them back into place here. This was a used board. Oh, oops. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, it was a used board they actually never actually got to use because they had no idea how to build a computer and they just tore the board up a little bit. It works though. Works fine. All right. Now we need the power supply. So we're using, as always, the ASRock Pro 750G. It's ATX 3.1 compatible. It's the main reason I bought it. It was like, what, $55 on Newegg on a sale or something like that. 60 bucks. Really good deal. So that's what we're using here. It's going to give them upgradability in the future. That's one of the things I always preach on my listing is compared to other sellers, and you know, if you want to buy pre-builds, they aren't going to give you that upgradability. Whereas I always make sure to try to at least overspec the power supply a little bit so they can get a better GPU. Ow. All right. One of these cords came back and like scratched me in the face. It kind of hurt. I like 128 gigs with that, please. All right, that will be $2 million, sir. $2 million. Please pay up. Oh, the back of this IO shield is actually also white. So I really like that. It goes like this build for the money is going to be great. I don't know how much I spent on this. I want to say it's going to be probably like 500, and I think I can sell this thing, you know, it having 32 gigs for probably 800, and that's going to be good profit. That might sound like a lot for something, you know, like a 2070 Super, but that's the world we live in right now. Here we go. There's not a lot of room in this case here. It's gonna be nice and compact for them. Made that work. So boys, I see some new people in the comments. Let me know your builds. I don't actually know what y'all are rocking. I'll let you know mine first. If you haven't seen the channel before, I have a 265K with 80 gigs of DDR5, an RTX 5090, and I have a, what is it, 16 terabytes of NVMe storage. 16. You want to know what the build looks like? Let's see if we can pan over to it. This is my build. It looks very strange just because this camera is, whoa. Wrong way, wrong way. Definitely wrong way. This camera is way above it, but this is my build. Yep. What's up? I'm doing a live stream right now.
Yeah, I know, bro. Dude, I doxed Kate Silicon Steak. I'll hack you.
This is the Dr. Phalanges. That's my brother.
Yep.
He's just showing up while I'm doing my PC build today.
Cheesecake. Cool, man. 2070 Super. Doesn't look bad.
Yep, 2070 Super. This case is very small though, so I don't know how I'm gonna fit all this in here. So why'd you come over?
It's cheesecake.
Oh, okay.
I texted you, but
Yeah, I'm just busy.
Oh, okay. This is cool. I'll see you later, man.
Later, dude. Well, see, guest appearances here on the live stream tonight. Now I need to hook up. I think this thing came with the RGB controller. So we'll plug that in right here. This SATA cord. Now I'll do one of these CPU cords. Same old stuff. For some reason, this is really hard to do. CPU one's always hard to do with these cable extensions in particular. There we go. Yeah, I think DDR4 for budget builds has always been viable. Like people saying it wasn't viable like a few months ago. I don't personally like I think that DDR5 just became viable over DDR4 for ultra budget like right before this price hike came into play. Like if you'd seen my builds, like I had done all of my builds with DDR4 up until just like a month or two before that price hike, and then DDR5 cratered in price, bro. Absolutely cratered. Like the DDR5 kit I have right now is I bought for $70 and it's a 32 gig kit. I bought it like 4 months ago. And that was just such a good deal. I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah, DDR5 is viable because I'd been buying DDR4 kits for 40 to 50 bucks. I don't have a cable extension for the motherboard here. Sucks really bad, but I just ran out of the motherboard ones. So we're just gonna have to deal with that today. I think the next step is to put on the CPU cooler. So to do that, we'll switch back to the other camera and I'll put the computer down. So some people might say it's some sort of conspiracy when it comes to DRAM pricing because like right when the prices began to crater like crazy, we had this huge event where they just got scalped to Kingdom Come. I could, if someone said that about like GPU pricing and NVIDIA, I would believe them 100%. Like anytime it seems like GPU prices are about to crater, NVIDIA pulls out the stops to make that not happen. And for real, like I was saying, guys, like DDR5 prices were actually becoming viable, like right around September, August, and then all this stuff went down. All right. See if we can get a close-up of what I'm doing here. We'll zoom it out for now, actually. Yeah, I mean, when we use up all the RAM, for real, what's going to happen? I saw them talking about bringing back smartphones with 4 gigs of RAM, you know, like Apple, top tier Apple phone with maybe 6 gigs of RAM again. What phone are we on now? The 16 Pro? The 17 Pro might have like 6 gigs. That's half of what the one has now. It has 12. I think it's the 16 Pro. Wait, no. We're on the 17 Pro. It always happens so fast. I don't know. I guess the 18 Pro would have 6 gigs of RAM, if that's true. Look at that spread. This thermal paste is moist. I forgot to grab a paper towel to wipe off this thermal goo. Yeah, that's what I use these manuals for. Manual will do in a pinch. That's all you got. Okay, now time for the CPU cooler. Very basic. Like Terrace was saying, you know, maybe even not enough for a 12700K, but once we undervolt this thing, it'll be fine. It will be fine. You notice on my last build, I did include a very beefy cooler for that 12900K. Oops. Yet to come on. Heard it click. Here we go. Can this tame the power of the 12700K? In most gaming scenarios, I think so. Okay, great question. How many years do you think my 9070 XT and 7800 X3D build will last before being obsolete? Well, it depends. Like, first off, it depends what you mean by obsolete, okay? Because this 2070 Super that I'm putting in this build right now, okay? When did this launch? 2018? Okay, 2019 if you know, it is a Super, but it's basically a 2070. It is still technically viable. It's on the edge of being viable. I think 10 series is not viable anymore. 20 series is still viable. If you count that, like, it can still run games. It still has the basic necessity features like ray tracing on the 20 series. I think something like a 9070 XT has another, that level of performance has another 7 years, is what I think, until it's no longer viable. Minimum. It all depends, and this is a big if. It just depends on if AMD supports that card for that long with their drivers and overall updates, because AMD just doesn't support architectures as long as NVIDIA. If you look back at Vega architecture, which competed with the 20 series right before the RX 5700 XT RDNA 1 came out. Yeah, those cards are already done away with. Their drivers are no more. And they, you know, they can't really compete anymore. They're non-viable in my opinion. Vega cards. RX 5700 XT, like RDNA 1, it is on the cusp of being viable to non-viable. You can use it in builds. I use it in a few, and it's okay. So yeah, and the reason that I think it's going to last that long is because the newest Xbox that's going to come out, I think it's going to be around a 4080 performance level. That's 9070 XT, and that's going to last for like 8 years. So you'll be viable for like right up to the end of that generation, probably. As for CPU, I think the 7800X 3D, as long as we don't get way too multi-core, like dependent on multi-core performance, which could definitely happen, its single threading advantage and its cache advantage should carry that well along with the 9070 XT. So that's what I think. Could I be wrong? Definitely. But let's be real, guys. I don't think if you're really into this hobby, like if you're watching this channel and you're obsessed with this stuff, you should be buying your stuff and just running it into the ground until it's non-viable, because you can definitely make some plays. If you time the market, if you're able to buy things when they're cheap, you know, like when the 9070 was at MSRP, and then sell it when a GPU scalping occurrence happens like every other year, you should be able to actually upgrade your setup for almost free if you do this often enough. Like if you hold on to it till it's worth nothing, then you have no equity anymore. But if you buy something like a 5090 for $2,000 and sell it for $3,000, or even sell it for 1,500, you can re-put that, you can invest that money back into your build, right? So you'll always have equity to put back into your build. But if you wait until your build's worth $0, you have to start all over, which, hey, if you don't want to obsess about it all the time, that could be a good gamble for you. But for me, I just like to constantly upgrade and switch things out and kind of do it for almost free. All right. Last thing is the GPU, the glorious 2070 Super. Let's get that light on it. Yeah. We're going to have to take this little portion out here so we can get the PCIe brackets open. We have the bend and break ones, disposable. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this thing. Oh, this is missing its, that's not good. It's missing its little PCIe holder. Oh well. It is what it is. Screw her in here. All right. How can someone learn to upgrade in a smart way? There are guides or videos. You're out of the loop. Uh, I mean, you just have to time the market, and no one knows where the market's going to go. But things you could look into doing is getting trackers like Camel Camel Camel. It's a great website that monitors Amazon links, and you can look, oh, this is at the lowest price it's literally ever been. I'm going to pick that up. And you just have to know these things are cyclical, okay? So I made a whole video about this when my channel was much smaller. It's not the best quality video, but the information's good. Basically, what I said is if you want to buy parts when they're the cheapest, you buy it in the summer. During the summer, no one wants to build a PC. They're out spending money on like vacations, outdoor activities, things like that. And typically, it's like a year after the newest parts have come out. So computer parts are actually super cheap usually during the summertime. That was true for this summer. RAM was really cheap. Graphics cards were coming to MSRP. And so basically, you kind of just want to, if something comes out in the fall, you don't buy it until that next summer, like the year after. And you can't be scared of buying hardware that's last generation, because a lot of times you'll buy it for like half the price, right? Or if you want to buy something that's new, you just wait for it to hit an all-time low. And really, if you think like it shouldn't be that price, like it's too good to be true, maybe like pick it up. That's kind of, I don't know. That's kind of what I do. And then you try to sell whatever you bought. Like I had a 4080. I bought that for like 700 something. I sold it for like 750. Like I had sold it for what I bought it for. And if you do that, then essentially you got to use whatever hardware you had for that whole time for basically free. Think about it. I bought my 5090 for MSRP. And I know that one day it's going to be easily sellable above MSRP. And when that day comes, like maybe like 50% higher than what I bought it for, I may just sell it. Like I said on the last live stream, I'm waiting for Resident Evil 8 to come out. After I beat that, then I might sell it. All right. Hopefully I have two PCIe extensions here. If I don't, then they're just going to get black. It's definitely not optimal for my sales, but these are all CPUs. CPU. 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 PCIe, PCIe. Okay, so I have two PCIe extensions left. Exactly what I needed. Dude, the 2000 series graphics cards really are sexy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love the way they look. I really like also how Pascal Founders cards look, like the 10 series. But to be honest, I prefer performance. I prefer cooling power. And these cards they aren't as good at cooling. The 20 series was better at the 10 than the 10 series. Their blower design kind of sucked. But still. I like how they're cool and all, but like I'm always gonna go for performance when I'm spending that much on a card. Sure, this thing for $100, like if it's old and it's cheap, then yeah, I'll get the cool looking one. But I could see myself buying one of these like 20 series cards and just like putting it on a shelf somewhere for display. I'm really going at my own pace today. I did not try to rush this at all. This one uses a 6-pin connector, actually, which is kind of annoying. I don't really like. I'd rather just use 2 8-pins than an 8-pin and a 6-pin. Oh my gosh, this is all tangled up. This space my go-to. Oh my gosh, this is hideous. It's cable management. Hasn't always been my strong suit, I will admit, cable management. You have to know when you're not good at something, I guess. Did I not do it right? Is that why it looks so bad? Yeah, I think. Here we go. All right. This is the computer. How does it look? Honestly, not that amazing. Desperate times call for desperate measures, though. Now I'm going to have to fit all this back here like Homer Simpson does with his back fat. You guys know that meme? You know it? If you don't, oh, wait. There is freaking, where's the RGB controller? I have to find that. You know what? I don't think there is an RGB controller. Where's the SATA port cord then? Where does it go? Ooh, that's to power the fans through SATA. Well, I do have an RGB controller, a backup one in my garage, so I'll have to go grab that for this thing. But honestly, we'll just turn it on and I'll do that later. We'll just answer the questions on the stream and wrap this up. I'll leave all the cords just hanging in the back, and I'll come fix that. Or you know what? Why not? Why not? I'll turn this on, let you guys admire it, then I'll go grab that cord and I'll hook it up. But I'm going to be working on it. I might as well have you guys along with me. Okay, turn off the overhead camera to plug this in. And 3, 2. Oh, it turned on without my consent. Not cool. And those 2 fans aren't on, probably because I didn't plug them in. Yeah, right here. Did not even plug these fans in. Let me do that while it's on, like a boss. Please tell me these are ARGB, not just rainbow barf color. Oops, I unplugged it. I don't see an RGB cord. That is unfortunate. I think these back fans aren't ARGB though. They look like the same fan. Yeah. These front two don't have a cord for ARGB. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. In that case, I may just leave this PC an ugly stepchild and leave it like freaking rainbow barf. I don't care. It's got the RAM, okay? That's all we need to know. As long as this motherboard has a oh, does it not? There we go. On the bottom it has a cord for which this cannot reach. Dang it. It looks great. Yeah, thanks, dude. I won't have trouble selling it, dude. I sell all the stuff I list relatively quickly as well. Like these days, I'm selling everything I list within 1 or 2 weeks. Oh, that is ugly. I have to route it. There's no way I'm doing that. I guess I'm just gonna go get that ARGB controller for this other fan. Because there's only one RGB plug on this whole motherboard, and it's on the very bottom, which this cannot reach unless I loop it over the graphics card. So all right. Okay, boys, look at the PC. Ooh and ah over the RGB lights. I'm going to go get an RGB controller for this thing, and then we'll answer questions and wrap up the stream. BRB. Hey. All right, and this is exactly what we needed here. A Coolmon RGB controller. Heck yeah. So we're going to go ahead and turn this bad boy off. Turn off for me, please. All right, you forced my hand. I already missed my Montech case. Dude, that thing was great. I just decided to branch out, but that thing was so good. All right. This case just, it's a little bit too small. It doesn't have an RGB controller. I literally have to stuff all these cords back here. We'll say the build quality on this is good though, especially for the money. It's great. It's just the Montec case kind of mogs everything else for the price. It was actually out of stock. That's why I didn't go with the Montec. I had bought all their stock, I think, in North America on that one. And here we go. Oh, flip the switch. It's not turning on anymore. There we go. The power switch had come loose. Whoa. My light fell. Turn that down a little bit. All right. This is the build. Where you're stuck on a light, that better be boot. That light down there. Let's take a look. It's actually stuck on the VGA light. That's not a good sign, but I'm sure I'll figure it out when I put it in my garage and set it up. But this is the PC. Let's calculate the price of this bad boy. Before tax, $150 for the 12700 KF, $70 for the RAM. I want to say, I spent $70 on that 1TB SSD, and then $15 on the cable extensions. $50 on the case, and then $55 on the power supply. That was everything before tax, and then after tax, it was that number. I spent $100 on the graphics card, no tax. And then the motherboard I got for free, basically. But I would just say I paid $40 for it, since I paid $80 for two like a long time ago. But I also got 12900 KF and all that. So $583. Okay, 32 gigs of RAM, 1TB SSD, 2070 Super, 12700 KF. Pretty good deal. What do you guys have to say? Okay, no new comments. All right, well, I'm pretty happy with this build. I think we're going to call it there if no one else has any more comments. We'll go ahead, put this on. This plastic. I wonder if this one has inside plastic. Whoa. Last one I had inside plastic and it made it look really strange. Yeah, it does. I don't like these ones you have to screw in on the front of it. To be honest, it's not my style. It reminds me of the Master Box from Cooler Master, the Q300 Master Box. It was my very first case. It was the cheese grater case, I like to call it. All right. Okay, no new comments. So this is the build, 580 to build. I'm gonna sell it for probably like 800 or 850, and it's a nice profit. They get a good PC with enough RAM, and I get some money in my pocket. So this is one of the last builds we're doing on the channel, probably just because of RAM shortages. I think I have 2 more coming up. I may or may not do those live. We'll have to see, but I'll definitely do the one with DDR5 live. I think I want to do that. But yeah, this has been Silicon Steak, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Building PCs Live. Look at this one. Very nice. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and yeah, Silicon Steak signing out.